what is a business coach? And I thought, let's get some great information out there, help some people out to demystify maybe what a business coach is. So thank you for being here. I'm so excited. Hi, Steph. How are you today?
Great, Nicole. How are you? Thanks for
Well,
having me.
I'm so glad that you were here. And I wanted to give everyone a little bit of context on why we're here today talking. And you and I both know that we work with businesses on a daily basis. I'm a professional brand photographer, so I'm constantly out with small businesses, big businesses, capturing their visual content. But you're a business coach. And I know in talking with so many different businesses, business coaching tends to come up, and I thought it would be great to have you here. We can discuss what you do and provide, and give some people out there some information on maybe they have been looking for a business coach, maybe they never thought there was a business coach that could kind of meet their needs. And I thought, let's get some great information out there, help some people out to demystify maybe what a business coach is. So thank you for being here. I'm so excited. Let me know what type of business coaching you provide, because I feel like there's a coach for every aspect of someone's life. So especially with business coaching, I'm sure there's a spectrum. So where do you fall on that spectrum?
Okay, well, first of all, I want to go back to what you said, how you're being a brand photographer and you focus on their visuals. I just happen to look at, ready for this, the business through a different lens. So you see it forward, I look at it kind of backward. So the
Interesting.
business coaching that I do really takes an overall look at where somebody is in their entrepreneurship journey, whether they're just starting a business, whether they're 3 to 5 years in and they're either completely overwhelmed with sales, which is a great place to be, or they're struggling and they can't figure out how to, they've maybe plateaued to get to the next level, or maybe even somebody who's looking for a succession plan or to retire. So I really meet all my clients where they are. That's my favorite part about it, is to get to know them and find out a little bit more about what their goals are.
That's incredible. Now, do you just come in and save the day and then show up a couple months later with a great plan? Or what kind of makes you special in your coaching services?
Well, thank you for that compliment. I will explain that there are consultants, mentors, and coaches, and there's a fine line between all three. And I lead with coaching, and I'm pretty clear when I'm mentoring. And I also do some consulting. So I define consulting as teaching. So what I don't do is what you just said, like come in, swoop somebody up, and go back in 3 months and say, here's your ad campaign, here's what you need to do. So together we get to know each other. I figure out where you are, where you want to be, and then we create what's called a coaching plan. And that's sort of a list of priorities and in order of what you want to do first. And based on that, if it's something that I have connections for or experience with, then that's where the consulting mentorship sort of comes into play. The heart of everything I do goes back to coaching. And that's my getting really curious with clients and asking questions about what they really want and what they need, because that's really where it all boils down to.
That's incredible. If someone seeing this is thinking, oh, maybe I need a business coach, what questions would you have them almost review or get answers to prior to reaching out to someone like yourself? What kind of information would be great to have when you pick up the phone with someone?
Well, interesting you should ask. That's part of my process, but typically after somebody has said they want to work with me. So there's two things. I describe my process to them, and it's basically like a 4-step process. We start with core values, then we figure out needs and wants. And then the third step is mission and vision. And then the last step is like you, your brand, your career, whatever it is that our end goal. So the question specifically I would ask are, how do you feel about change? How do you feel about putting yourself out there? What does accountability mean to you? And what's your biggest fear, and how do you define success? Those are some really powerful questions that I have on my intake form that usually take people a while to answer.
That's awesome. I'm glad that there's a process just to, start it off and to get people going through why they started to begin with, probably, and where it's evolved to, and what challenges that they're facing today. So that's amazing. Do you have any, so you mentioned if someone's plateaued, if they are struggling, if they have a lot of sales, if they're trying to expand, are there any other areas that have seen other businesses kind of reach out for? Whether it's, do you think like if someone's brand new, business coaching is great for them, or what would they fall under?
Well, one of the first things I did when I got my coaching certification was hire somebody, and I was crystal clear. I want 50% mentorship, 50% coaching. Like I needed both.
Okay.
I think if someone is brand new, I think there's a lot of questions that they probably have. Typically, the niche for that I see is other coaches coming to me because I went to coaching school about 10 years ago. So I've been a coach for 8.5 years. And I think that people want to know, how did you get to this point? And as I mentioned earlier, business development is my wheelhouse. I have a lot of experience working with Fortune 500 companies and building, their platforms and their campaigns. So I think I bring a lot of experience to the table in bridging the gap between what the client wants and what their end goal is. I think in addition, so scaling, growing, the biggest question is what do they want? And then if it makes sense for us to work together.
Okay, that's amazing. Is there a typical cycle? Like, when you're on board, it's typically like a 1-year plan, a 5-year plan. Can you speak to that?
Sure. So great question. Almost all of my business development clients come and go, right? So I have one client, I started working with her about 5 years ago, and we worked together. She was in the very beginning stages of launching her business. We worked together for about a year, and then she had a couple other things she needed to take care of. And then of course the pandemic came and like everything got, twisted and turned around. And then she came back to me last year and she said, her business just exploded. And she said, I need some accountability. She's super creative and amazing at what she does, but needed some, pins and things to make sure that the functionality of her business kept going, and accountability. So we meet once a month, and I actually currently have probably a dozen clients that I see on a regular basis about once a month, but I don't do that until I've worked with them for, several years. So my business development clients stay with me for a long time, which I love because it's incredible to see them grow.
That's awesome. Okay, that was amazing. So this has been, I know, so helpful, just the little parts of, do I need a business coach? How to you, like what your process is, what people can expect when they're reaching out to business coaches. So I think this has been helpful in learning more about what you do specifically, because we know mutual businesses that we are both working with, and it's just so much fun on both sides of the house. And I would love you to let people know how they could reach out to you or learn more about you. I don't know if you have resources, if you want to speak to that. How can people find you?
Well, thanks for asking. Obviously, my website, tischlercoachingservices.com. I'm also on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and on my website, which someone really special took my brand photographs there. There's a whole resource section of recommended books and articles and some really fun things there. So I do speak frequently to recommended books and other resources on my social media. So join me there.
That's incredible. All right, Steph, thank you so much. I'm sure this is going to help someone out there that have been thinking about building their business, or they've been in their business and they're looking to go, even further. So thank you so much for your time, and we'll chat soon, I'm sure.
Sounds great. Thanks, Nicole. Hi, Nicole. Thanks for having me. Hi, everyone. I'm Stephanie Tischler, and I coach people on their life at work. So that could be career transition, professional development, but specifically what we're talking about today, business development. My background is in television and digital advertising sales. So I've always had a passion for understanding people's business and helping them grow it. So that's my wheelhouse, and I bring that forward in my coaching.